Okay, so here's another volume in the continuing saga of making your own lion's roar. This is me. Hello. A couple of kind of double-sided treats today. First, I've got a recently emptied adobo container, light but with pepper, and I've got my twine. You can see my drill. So what I wanted to try to do with this series today, something a little bit different. Maybe not quite that different, just a little bit. Get my twine in there. And it takes a little work, but there we go. Twist it through. Now, one of the cool things about adobo, besides its flavor, like a spice, it comes with these, these discs that keep it from just spilling out all at once, right? I'm going to try to use this to our sonic advantage here. So typically, the string will vibrate against this membrane here. I'm going to add this second one, and what I'm going to do is just weave it a little bit. Just maybe to strengthen the whole thing a little bit. But also to see if it gives it a little different kind of juice when the whole thing gets going. Extra kind of vibrational potential. Seems like enough. Grab a nut. And try to pull it through. Sometimes that's why I like to have this little thumbtack ready. Give it a little push where a fingernail can't reach. Or maybe not. I like the nut stainless steel because, there we go, it won't break, and it gives it a firm surface to kind of end the whole thing with. If it was just totally dependent on the plastic, then it probably would break twice as well. Probably, I'm kind of the expert on this. It would break quite a bit sooner. So let's pull this thing all the way back through here. Let's connect it up, and pops on there, so you know it's not going anywhere. And then for extra protection, right? So let's give this thing a shake. Now let's give it a try. Rosin, sock, you know how it is. Oh, that's pretty good. It's got a little bit of resonance to it. for fun, let's take this end off. Ooh. So that gives us a lot of potential and sound there. I actually like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good. Now my strings are extra long here, so it's not why we're not getting any sound at the end, but you can hear the potential. Let's go a little further down the line. Give it a little bit extra rosin. There we go. Sock is all set. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And it comes in two flavors, with or without cover. That's a nice quality. You get a muted sound, and you get the unmuted sound. Sweet. All right, let's put this one aside. And let's bring out my friend, the old giant pretzel jar, jug, really. Now this one, again, taking advantage of plastics. That's kind of the subtitle of this whole series. I'm going to try some double-edged action here. So this hole at the bottom, this was actually, before it was a hole, it was a nub. You know, the plastic nub where it comes off the machine. And there was as such, it was a hard hole to drill out. And you can go in from the side, I guess, but I wanted to keep it in the middle. Now it comes to a kind of moment of indecision here. So typically we want these things to be about an arm's length. That way you can yank on that thing pretty good. So I got a double arm's length here, and if it needs to be shortened, okay, it can be shortened. We're gonna need the nut. Now it's just a matter of which end we think the nut would be better at. So we could try to put two. That's probably beyond my technical expertise. This one's already in here. This is already kind of a weird surface. I'm gonna vote for a nut at this end. Now that doesn't mean anything too technical, except it's the first end. So I think I can give this an arm's length, maybe a little bit more. Tie it down here. And then that'll be a good place right there. Right, that's a good resistance right there. And I haven't treated the rope yet. So I don't even know if this is going to work. Maybe that nub is too dense. We're not going to get any vibration out of it whatsoever. Yeah, right. Of course we will. Yeah, there's something to be coming from that. Yep. Yeah, see? So that sounds pretty awesome by itself. Now what I'm going to try to do is get double my money out of this. So I want to make sure that this end is pretty hard up against it, pretty taut there. Now what I'm going to try to do, this hole wasn't quite drilled right. What I'm going to try to do is feed this back through and get a sense of where that second nut needs to go. Yeah, I guess I need two. I can't get away with just one, because when I yank on the one, it's gonna completely throw the other. So let's just assemble the best we can. So I've pulled that taut. This is all the way on. And let's put it down like this. Grab ourselves a pen. And let's put a little mark. Of course it's a red pen. Everybody knows why. Let's grab another nut. Let's grab the end. I hope it stays. Pull it through. Oh, don't. There we go. Don't detwine on me. All right. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. If you don't have the nautical skills necessary to tie these knots in the right location. So you probably remember that the red line was a I marked it above the lid. I don't think it needs to be exactly precise. As you saw with the adobo, there's always going to be a little play, a little give, but we don't want it to be too short or too long either direction. We want it to be close. So I'm just, well, what the heck, I'm just going to put it right on that mark. Feed it through. Let's tighten that sucker up. And make sure the nut is right on there. So let's think about this just a little bit better. We actually don't want the nut to be right on the red, do we? We want the nut side to be the extension of where the nut should be. So that really shouldn't be on the knot at all. It probably should be just below the knot, if I'm thinking about it correctly. So let's keep that red part unknotted. Oh, not yet, not yet. No. Let it out, let it out. Let's move it towards. Yeah. Something like that. And that looks a little short. Like I said, a little give either way. Alright. Now let's thread this end back through. Well, this end's been through a bit, so I'm going to have to re-melt it. Well, hopefully I can get it through here, just to demonstrate. There we go. Cool. So what we don't, we want this nut to keep it from pulling too far this way, and we want this nut to keep it from pulling too far this way. And it looks like we've done it pretty well. Let's get this guy. Oh yeah, you can just tell. This is not rosin that's been used on a violin bow anytime recently. You see it's been marked by the passages of time, like a river over a rock. So that end sounds pretty cool. Yeah. And we know this end sounds pretty cool too. It just dawned on me, however, I've only got one sock. How am I supposed to play this thing? Well, hopefully you've got extra socks lying around. People say, why do you have extra socks? Why don't you put them on your feet? Yeah, good question. So make sure it's a good spot. So how do we do this? Did that work? Now you end up embarrassing yourself more than you already are. Get your body on it. Or does that work? Is that a thing? It's a little bit awkward to play both parts at once because it's such a large instrument. But you can imagine get a nice little thing. Let's try some longs and shorts. Oh, rosin needs to be. Maybe a couple more. You need your own like stand just for this thing, something like a big piece of cloth or something, and you can just kind of strap it down. One more shake and that'll be it for this volume. That was fun, actually. Let's try that. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this latest volume as much as I did. Got a couple of really cool instruments today.